Hello everyone, my name is Sandra Medlin and I am the artist behind Art by Sandra Medlin. I wanted to do this video because I get a lot of questions on Facebook and Instagram about my process. My work is a little different than the traditional pours. I create art digitally by creating a pour, and then I take photographs of each section of that pour. And what I do with that is I take those photographs and I pick out my absolute favorite photographs that have a lot of detail that I like. And I take those and I import them into Adobe Illustrator. And so with Adobe Illustrator, I have the opportunity to take, I guess an example like with photos. Photos are made up of pixels, and if you're a little familiar with vectors, you know that those are number based. So you can create a large, picture with a vector, and what it does is it doesn't lose its clarity. Whereas in photographs and pixels, if you enlarge them, they lose their clarity. So that's why I like to work in Illustrator, first of all. So actually, getting back to that, what I do is I take those photographs, I put them into Illustrator, and I kind of clean it up. I recreate that particular piece of the pour in Illustrator. And so it gives me a more vivid, kind of cartoony type of pour look. So then what I do with that is I take that and then sometimes I'll throw it into Photoshop. And in Photoshop, I can kind of clean things up and whiten or brighten the whites and make my cells structure look a little bit better. So that's another software I use. And then from there, once I'm happy, I will take that particular photograph and I will print it on a large format printer. And I use archival inks. I put it on acid-free paper. That way my actual process going forward from the pour is going to be archival. So that way when I sell my art, it's a good quality piece. It's going to last. So once I print on the large format printer, I take that print and I mount it onto a usually a cradled 1.5 inch thick wood panel. Most of my pieces are 12 by 12 inches or 12 by 18 inches. So I mount those onto the wood panels. Then I trim the edges after 24 hours. And then once everything's nice and dry, I pour art resin on it. And it gives it just a beautiful, protective, UV resistant coating that just looks really good as a piece of art. So I wanted to kind of explain that process first because on my channel, I pretty much just go through the pour. And I'm confident in my pour process that it can be good and long lasting as far as, creating it on canvas or, anything that's like, primed or gessoed, wood panels. You can do those pours on that, but I do my pours on a cookie sheet. And the reason I do a cookie sheet is because it's not, and make sure it's a non-stick cookie sheet, not the regular. But I get one, I'll show you in the next video when I actually go over my recipe process. But for now, just to let you know, I do it on a cookie sheet. And then once I'm done with that, if it dries and I really like it, or actually I got that backwards, if I really like it and once it dries, I will take the skin from, and you can use like just a kind of something with a plastic edge, good edge on it, and kind of lift around that pour once it's dry. And then once you lift it off, you can cut out, little pieces of your favorite part of the pour for like jewelry, anything like that. Sometimes I throw them out 9 times out of 10, I'll usually find something within that pour that I liked enough to put it on a piece of jewelry. But I don't sell jewelry. I just make it for my personal use. So, and then let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I've got notes, so let me refer to my notes. Just pretty much that, you know, that's kind of, I just wanted to kind of give an intro and kind of let you know what I do, because people look at my artwork and they're just like, oh my gosh, you know, those sales are amazing, you know, but all my work is digital after the pour. And this channel is just dedicated to the pour. Now, when I do the pours, I do get good sales. I get pretty good size sales. And I call them teeth. But it's like on the edges of my pour with the cup that I use, which is a PVC coupler. I think that's how you say it. That's what I've always used. I've been back and forth with formulas, and I've tried, you know, all kinds of different programs and YouTube videos, and I've been doing this since 2010. So I've kind of whittled it down, and actually I went back and did one of my original recipes before the whole art pouring, you know, explosion happened, where there was just so much thrown at you all the time, where you're buying this and you've got this supply list and you've got all these things you have to buy. Well, I want to enjoy my art, but I'm not going to go spend, you know, just a ton of money unless I can produce something that is beautiful to look at for me. Not just others. I want them to like it too, but the main thing is when you do this, you want it to be relaxing. You want to enjoy it. My process is kind of very slow and meticulous when I pour, because it takes patience. And you know, you can't just pick up the cup. You can't just, you know, slide it across there really fast. It's a very slow process, which you'll see in my videos. And the reason I do it that way is because the paint on the edges of that PVC coupler, it creates a lot of those really cool sails. And it's because you're just hovering ever so slightly within that pillow paint, and you're, you know, moving those colors around. So not to get too far into that, but just letting you know, you know, that's pretty much my process. I want you to enjoy the pours that I do on this channel, but I do not go into, you know, my digital process, you know, as far as like the Illustrator and in the Photoshop and all that, because I don't have the setup to really get on my computer and show everybody what I do. And I think that everyone has a uniqueness to them that, you know, they want to kind of keep to themselves, that makes their art special to them. So I don't mind sharing my pours. I don't mind sharing my recipe for my pours, but the digital aspect of it is kind of something that you could figure it out if you're, you know, if you're tech savvy, I guess, or digitally gifted with digital art. You could figure it out, but for the most part, it's just been years and years of playing with it, coming up with what works for me, what I like to look at. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that's what I do. And quickly, I'm going to show you some of my completed pieces, just so you can kind of get an idea of, you know, my end product. So anyway, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to take you over here and I'm going to flip you around and see what you think of these. Okay, so this is a 12 by 18 wood panel, as you can see the edge, and this is a digital replication of a painting pour. And I have several, and then I have this one, which is a 12 by 12, And you see that nice shine. Actually, I've got it the wrong way because my signature. But these are some really cool sales that popped up, and I photographed it and digitized it. Put it on the wood panel there, coat it with resin, which gives it that nice shine. And that's pretty much, you know, let's see, I'll show you this one. This is one of my favorites. Really big sails, real pretty structure, nice colors, has a like Neapolitan ice cream kind of feel to it. But yeah, you can see, you know, these large sails. And like I say, this is a photograph digitized. So the sail structure itself in the photograph is the same as the picture. But what happens is I can manipulate it within the program to make the sails like more rounder, or if they've got a funky shape, I can kind of you know, help with that shape and round it. And you don't have all that muddy color, because sometimes when you do a pour, you know how it just kind of gets muddy, and those are the parts that I don't, you know, I don't want to keep. So what I do is with, you know, with digitizing it and everything, it pretty much, you know, I can kind of have more control over the particular type of, you know, art I want to create and the sails the way I want them to look. That's one thing in pour paintings. The fun part is the sails that pop up and you're just like, woo, you know, that's beautiful, I love it. But there might be this other part on the other side that you're just like, you know, you're not too happy with it. So you kind of want to, I want to figure out a way to get rid of the parts that I don't like. And that's why I pretty much decided to photograph. Here's another one, which this has some really pretty colors. You can see the shine. Trying to get you to see this, see the detail without too much shine. And then, you know, I also sign, you know, I sign my work when I get done with everything, or actually before I resin, of course. So, but yeah, I hope you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. And like I say, I just wanted to, you know, explain to you guys, you know, exactly what I do, and just to give you a better feel for it and my process, my recipe, and how I do my pours can be used on canvas, which I've done that before. I just don't like to waste canvas, but if you're going to do a pour that you want to keep, you know, definitely try it with, you know, on canvas or some type of primed wood panel, and kind of see what happens. And if you get to where you're used to it and you like the way it works for you, then I definitely, that makes me happy. So thank you so much for watching. In my next video, I will explain a little more detail, because most of my videos that I've done in my pours, I've just pretty much, you know, I don't talk. I just kind of do my thing. I don't really like to do a bunch of photo editing and make a bunch of fancy schmancy, you know, videos, because it's just me doing my thing. I'm having fun. I don't want to turn it into a production process. I just want it to be something that I can share, simple, you know, nothing too fancy. So, because I think once you get into that process, and don't get me wrong, there's so many YouTubers out there that do some amazing videos, and I love the close-ups and the detail and all that stuff. But for me, I don't really have the time to do a bunch of photo editing. So that's why I'm going to keep it simple. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask or comment. and the section below. And also, I would love for you to like the video. I would love for you to comment for sure, and definitely subscribe, because I would love for you guys to subscribe and go on this pouring journey with me now that I am, you know, on YouTube again. I used to have a YouTube channel, you know, years ago that I did a lot of pours on, but I deleted all those videos and changed the channel, and so I'm kind of starting over from scratch now. So welcome, and I am so glad you were here, and I hope you enjoy it, and I definitely look forward to many more pours together, and just having a good time making happy little sales. All right, well, have a good one. Thank you.